Yo, what is going on, you guys? It's your boy King Sanders here. We are back with another day of sports betting. This is going to be for Wednesday, March 29th slate of NBA action. We've got a huge slate on. Unfortunately, we are waiting on a couple lines here, so I only do have 3 plays as of right now, but I will more than likely be adding one. So make sure you guys do go ahead and check out that pinned comment section down below. And make sure you guys do go ahead and check out my Twitter, so that way you guys can see both of those spots, see if I do end up adding any plays. But without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into it. We are still currently on the road to 13,000 subscribers. Once again, thank you guys for allowing me to hit 12,000. Truly, it does mean a lot to me. Next, I did just want to go ahead and give a quick shout out here to all of our members here on the channel. Thank you guys so much for everything that you guys do, and thank you guys so much for giving such a small channel such a big chance, as I always say. Truly does mean the absolute world to me. So much more than you guys will ever know. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into a quick recap as of yesterday. All I got to say is I am so glad that I ended up adding a play yesterday. I truly just had bad reads on pretty much every game that was out there, and they all lost in pretty brutal fashion. So let's go ahead and talk about it. So we did end up having Jason Tatum under 8.5 rebounds. He finishes with 9. So we lost right on the hook, and it was really only because of the second quarter. He finishes the first quarter with just 2, which is right where we needed him. But unfortunately, in the second quarter, he grabs 4 of them. He's going with 6 going into halftime, and then he ends up grabbing 3 more in the third quarter. He doesn't end up grabbing any in the fourth quarter, and surprisingly, it was the Boston Celtics that ended up getting blown out. I know that there was going to be a blowout in this game, but I really figured it was going to be the other way around. I thought that the Celtics would win big. I was wrong. I was incredibly wrong about that one. But, we ended up losing that one by literally just 1 rebound. Then we ended up having Fred VanVleet over 20.5 points. Yeah, not the play either. This was literally everybody else's game. Everybody else on the entire roster of the Toronto Raptors ended up playing good. You're looking at Scotty Barnes, he had 20+. You're looking at OG Anunoby, he had 20+. You're looking at Siakam, he had 20+. I was looking at Pirtle rebounds whenever I was trying to make my plays yesterday. That one ended up hitting. So unfortunately, we just made the wrong call. We picked the wrong team, or the wrong player on this team. Anybody else would have been an over. Then we had Wendell Carter Jr. over 15.5 points versus the Memphis Grizzlies. And this one honestly, hurt a little bit because Wendell Carter Jr. ended up playing pretty decent. Going into the fourth quarter, he did end up having 14 points. He only needed 1 more basket. They did not play him up until about 2 minutes left in the game. Then they finally subbed him in. He misses a 3 and then does not get another attempt to even score the ball. So unfortunately, just ended up losing that one literally by 1 shot. He only did shoot 50% as well, 33% from 3. So not the greatest shooting night here for Wendell Carter Jr. either. Kind of a rough night overall for them. I took the Magic spread as like a side bet, and of course that one hit as well. But regardless, we did have 1 win. We had our added play. So like I said, always make sure you guys check out the pinned comment section and on my Twitter. But I did have Jonas Valanciunas over 13.5 rebounds plus assists. That game is currently finishing up right now, but he is at 14 rebounds plus assists. So he may end up just hitting it right on the hook. But regardless, terrible day. We ended up going 1-3 on our plays today. Not a good day. Hopefully we can bounce back as of today, and let's just win some money. So without any further ado, let's go ahead and dive into our first official play of the day. First play of the day, we're going with Luka Doncic over 2.5 3-pointers made here versus the 76ers at -130 odds. Now this one is a sheer volume play. I love this because of the volume that you are going to get with a guy like Luka Doncic. He is averaging 8.2 3-pointers attempted per game. He's shooting the lights out of this ball, and he's shooting it at an extremely high rate. He has gone over in 2 straight games, so he does have a little bit of a hot hand here recently. And last game versus Philadelphia, he shot 7 for 13 from the 3-point line. Now, do I think he's going to go out there and hit another 7 3-pointer game? Absolutely not. But I do think that he is going to get to 3 here for us. And Philadelphia also does allow the 5th most 3-pointers made in the last 3 games. They've given up a lot of points to the 3-point line. They've been really good about packing the paint. They've been really good about taking away some of those inside points. But when it comes to the 3-point line, they just have not been very good at defending it. And the Mavs are currently in a 3-way tie for the 9th place spot here in the Western Conference. They are going to need Luka Doncic to have a big game, and I truly do think he will, especially against a very good 76ers team. Of course, there is always the, Joel Embiid is the MVP, so he could play a little bit harder to try to prove that he has a shot in the MVP. Obviously, he doesn't this year, but you guys know what I'm saying. Like, 2 top talents in the league, could see them them going head-to-head. So I really do love the spot here for our first official play of the day. Luka Doncic over 2.5 3-pointers made here versus the 76ers at minus 130 odds. Now for our second official play of the day, we're taking Karl Anthony Towns over 17.5 points here versus the Phoenix Suns at minus 125 odds. I can't lie to you guys. The only reason I like this is because this line is way too low. This line is too low for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns, who is one of the best scoring big men in basketball, and his line is only 17.5. We're not going to get it this low again. This is probably going to be the last day that we ever see it at 17.5. It's probably going to jump up to 20.5 and maybe even further than that. So I'm getting it while it's low for sure. Last game, he did only have 14 points versus the Golden State Warriors, but he did shoot 5 for 16, and he was going up against a very good defender in Draymond Green. But overall, in his last 11 games, he's hit this over in 7 of them. And in 2 of those games, he didn't even see 28 minutes. He saw I think it was 26 and maybe even fewer in one of the other games. So he really didn't get the playing time that he normally does see for a guy like Karl Anthony Towns. So I do think that he sees his normal run today. In the first game that he was back, he saw right around 22 minutes. And then as of last game, he saw 30 plus. I think that we see his normal rotation here. He looks good. He's definitely played up to his expectations. So I do think that we see a normal run here from Cat, and we see his usual usage as well. Also, this year versus Phoenix, he is split. He has gone over in one of the games, and he's gone under in the other one. So he ended up having 24 in one of them and only 11 in the other. But I think that we see closer to that 24 mark. I think that we see right around 20 to 21 points. So I really do love the spot here for our second official play of the day. Karl Anthony Towns over 17.5 points here versus Phoenix at minus 125 odds. Now for our third and final play of the day, we are taking Kevin Huerter over 14.5 points here versus the Portland Trailblazers at minus 125 odds. Now I think this is just way too big of an overcorrection. I truly, truly do. He did end up going under last game, but that was versus the Minnesota Timberwolves, a very good defense, and he only scored 13 points. So it's not like he was way off of this line. He just barely missed it, and they dropped it by a whole 2 points. So I love the spot here. I think that he does get it back, and he's gone over in 4 out of his last 5 before the game that he went under. So he's technically gone over in 4 out of his last 6 or 4 of his last 5 before this last miss. And the one that he didn't end up hitting in those last 5 was versus the Brooklyn Nets, where he only saw 6 minutes in that game. So, little bit of a, little bit skewed there, but I really do love the spot here. He's got a great matchup here versus Portland, who allows the 3rd most 3-pointers made to opposing shooting guards in the last 7 games, and they've been giving up a lot of threes just in general as a team. I do love the spot here for a guy like Kevin Huerter, who attempts 6.8 3-pointers attempted per game. That's a lot of threes, and if the Portland Trailblazers give up a lot of those, yeah, sign me up. I think he's going to be able to hit his over. So that is going to be our third and final play of the day. Kevin Huerter over 14.5 points here versus Portland at minus 125 odds. Now, I'm going to talk about a couple leans that I do have. There's still 3 or 4 games that I don't have any player props up, any lines up for any of it. So I'm going to talk about a couple leans here. I do like Giannis over in points. I think that Giannis over versus the Pacers is going to be a good look. Giannis is due for a game where he ends up hitting his over. I think his line is set to 31.5 right now. He has not hit that in 5 straight games. We could see a pretty big game here from Giannis. I also do like Kevin Porter Jr. over in PRAs. He's been pretty consistent to this line. It's set at 27.5. The only reason I did not make this one an official play is because, surprisingly, the Brooklyn Nets, they've been really good defensively to that point guard position. So it scared me off of it just a little bit. But if you look at just the stats and you look at his logs and stuff like that, KPJ has crushed this log. He's gotten 30 plus in a lot of these games here recently. So I do like that one as a lean as well. And then the other lean I did have, I like Patrick Beverley over 6.5 points versus the Los Angeles Lakers. That's kind of like a revenge spot. Obviously, last game versus the LA Lakers, he came out and in the first minute of the game, he just chucked up 2 threes. Just absolutely chucked up 2 threes. If one of those goes down, he's already halfway to his over. So I truly do think that we see a game where Patrick Beverley does shoot a lot more than usual, and you're only asking for 7 points in a revenge spot versus the LA Lakers. I think that he does hit his over. So that is going to be our final lean of the day. Patrick Beverley over 6.5 points in a revenge game spot versus the Lakers. So that's going to do it for today's video. If you guys did enjoy, make sure you guys do like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. Like I said, we are still currently on the road to 13,000 subscribers. So if you guys are new, make sure that you guys do go ahead and like, comment, subscribe, turn on that notification bell so you guys know whenever I post. that is going to do it for me. This is King Sander signing out. Peace.